Раз, два, три. Всем доброго времени суток. Вы, как обычно, на канале Мультипаукис. И, как всегда, с вами Валтер. И сегодня стрим продолжает наш товарищ Азазелла. Скорее всего, за сегодня мы закроем доступный контент сюжетный в Сумеру. Или в Сумеру?
Сумеру.
Ну, какая хер разница? Все равно это мобильное говно. А завтра уже будет у нас стрим по репликанте. Сейвы у меня уже готовы. В принципе, сегодня можно было бы сделать, но пускай человек закончит эту часть. Ну что, поехали?
Ну, поехали. У нас тут вот ёбот лежит.
Совсем ёбот?
Ну, посмотри на него.
Ёбот.
Смотрю на него и вспоминаю старую игру под названием iNinja. Нет. Кто бы что ни говорил, Genshin может и мобильная дрочильня, может и помойка с манипулятивной механикой, но музыка тут охуенная.
Нет, в принципе, я не спорю. Как мобильная игра, именно что как мобильная игра, она неплоха.
Ну, по факту, да. У нее есть интересные решения, которые стоит бы перенять на мобильном рынке.
Ну, их уже, в принципе, перенимают. По причине того, что также это Tower of Fantasy. Тот же этот сердце этот Ноа.
Нет, я не говорю, что именно копировать, я имею в виду перенять некоторый подход.
Ну, именно что подход и был в основном перенят.
Просто людей задолбали уже эти Clash Royale, Clash of Clans и прочие игры, на ярлыке которых кричащий мужик. Мне все-таки геймпад чуть слышно сейчас даже.
Ну, я с клавомыши просто.
Ну ладно. Тут ничего не поделаешь. Ой. Я просто смотрю. Музыка успокаивает. Вокруг природа. Нет какого-то ощущения, что тебя сейчас будут донатно насиловать.
Ну, будут мягко вводить донат в анус.
Не, ну это понятно. Понятное дело, что весь этот праздник жизни оплачивает парочка китов.
Лохов.
Ну да.
Нет, в целом я бы не против, скажем, ну, порядка косаря игре отдать. И, если честно, если бы она выходила именно что нормально платная, как это... Твою мать. Ну, как называется... Как нормальная игра, рассчитанная на старшее устройство.
Ну, понятное дело, что хотелось бы видеть Genshin в качестве какого-нибудь Breath of the Wild условного.
Да.
Как бы тут механики неплохие, загадки простенькие, но есть и более-менее сложные. принципе, переложи это чуть лучше на то же самое, но с меньшим количеством доната гринда и нахрен удали ранговую систему и систему возвышения мира, что чем больше ты качаешься, тем сильнее монстры вокруг тебя.
Не, ну в принципе, это правильно, это чтобы противники соответствовали твоему уровню.
Правильно, да правильно. Только вот у многих новичков с Геншином проблема в том, что они перекачивают свой мир, а персонажи у них откровенное дно.
Ну по факту это как Skyrim.
Скорее как Обливион.
Ну, возможно, я Oblivion не играл.
Да, стоит.
Не знаю, мне оно что-то не нравится.
Единственное, надо будет накатить кучу модов на лица.
Ну да, чтобы не вот эти вот страшные и бледные.
Ты что, это самые холеные лица на районе.
Ага. Страшные еблеты.
Кстати, знаешь, почему в Скайриме нет масла?
Почему?
Оно все уходит на экспорт в Сиродил для этих харей.
Сиродил попиздил все масло?
Естественно. Так. В прошлый раз мы спасли от погони, вернее от слежки, какую-то девушку. И она сказала, идите в таверну, обменивайтесь инфой. Ну что ж, пойдем посмотрим, что она скажет.
Обмениваетесь милфой?
Инфой.
Блин, а я хотел милфой.
Тут такой механики нет. А жаль.
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait, stand down, Dia.
Деф я? Да.
My lady, who are these two?
Кого-то мне ее броня напоминает.
They're travelers that I met on the street just a moment ago. They happened to notice that you were all searching for me.
С учетом того, что они пиздят все, что угодно.
Wait a sec! Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns home safe and sound. My lady, let's get going. You've been gone for so long that your parents are worrying themselves sick.
And if I refuse to go with you?
It'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going, then I'll have to carry you like a sack of potatoes.
Hey! Dunyarzad already said she doesn't want to go back. What?
Stay out of this. You don't understand the situation. Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
How much?
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some time.
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my principles. That's why I'm here looking for you. Sure, it's an order from my employer, and knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt ya. For the sake of those who love you, don't be stubborn.
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits, and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, and they know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dia, you've been... Dia, I know it hasn't been easy for mother and father.
Да вот это вот, как казалось, богачка, которая сбежала от родителей.
There's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to.
Дора.
Because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same. This is my life and my last chance. So I want to do something.
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
Yes, I'm sure.
Fine. I won't ask you to return home anymore. But let me make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination,
Вот зараза.
not because I agree with you.
Thank you, Dia. Sorry for being so rude just now.
Don't worry about it, my lady. I did say that I like Mora. Besides, today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate was deployed. Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. So, I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me.
Okay, deal.
Yay! Looks like they've reached an understanding.
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
My lady, stop
Мне
trying to
кажется, они
look
повторяют
tough.
какую-то дичь.
We're already in a tavern, so let's
Да я
rest
сейчас
up and
думаю,
grab
что
some
они
grub.
обсуждают.
I'm sorry for worrying you two. If you don't mind, I'd like you to
Дичь.
join.
Sure, after you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanagi.
Официант, дичь.
Ha! Well, if it isn't Dia. Haven't seen you in nearly... Word on the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Ha! Don't you find...
You get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it. Huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself? We don't...
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of Mora on me, and I really ought to save as much as I can. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
Ах ты ж, сука.
Wait,
Я съебался.
we're paying for ourselves now? Aw, Paimon kinda wants...
How about our coconut charcoal cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap. Look, other customers over there are eating some now.
They look kind of burnt and dry. Paimon will pass. Hey, come on! Paimon has personal preferences too.
Первый раз эта тварь с глистами отказалась от еды.
We asked a lot of people when we first
Кто?
arrived. and
Paimon.
almost nobody was interested in...
Well, remember when you
А
asked
чё, она
me
любит
if I
пожрать?
knew how to meet the Dendroarchon?
Эта тварь любит меня обожрать.
Really?
Yes, it was when I was a child.
А, понятно, почему вечно пол инвентаря. Вроде еды было, а потом ни хера ничего не остается.
Вот сам
My
такой же.
parents did their best to find treatments for me. But even then, the Akasha didn't have any helpful information. My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi-conscious. Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry. Who are you? How do you know my name? How do I explain this? You might not be able to understand, but actually, I know everything about you. Really? Of course. I know that you're scared of thunder. That you hate taking medicine every morning. Wow.
А чё за
You really
мелкая?
do know everything.
Это же Дуньярзада, только маленькая.
Dunyarzad, is there anything you want? What?
Твою мать.
Not really. Huh? But aren't you a child? Then can you make
Да.
my illness go? I'm sorry.
Сожрали.
Then can you be my friend?
After that, the voice said, "Okay, I'll be your friend." Although my body was suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me beyond my window was the flourishing Sumera city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel, deserts, and all of Teyvat. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but she said that I must have been dreaming. But I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Yes, for sure. If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world. Nor would I have learned that voice sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been that I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness. In fact, I was running around today to help prepare the Subzeros Festival for her.
What's the Subzeros Festival?
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday, which was the day that she was found by the sages. It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of the... I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumero. In those days, but because of the academia's influence, people have gradually lost interest. The academia actively participates in Sumero's many holidays dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Subzeros Festival, forget any funding. They practically act like it. Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death.
Aw, but that's awful.
It is. It's absolute. Sure, the Greater Lord founded Sumeru, but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred?
Just remember that we're still...
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Subzeros Festival to this day, but I hadn't met any of them before. But recently, I made a friend there who also follows Lesser Lord Kus. I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this year. That's the least I could do for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hold on, my lady. Does this friend happen to be Nilu? The one who sends
Yes, that's her.
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face. It seemed like she was hiding something in her arms. Did you give her some?
Yes. Initially, I didn't
Они
have much
пока не
more
успокоятся, что
prepared.
ли?
So I had Nilu's. I've agreed with Nilu to
Да,
meet
они
up at the
все
Grand Bazaar
пиздят.
today
Ор
and see how things are
дают.
coming along.
Sure, that's quite the trip.
В мобильной донатной
I'll
помойке.
carry you.
No, that would be
Я
too
знал,
much,
что ты
even
не
for you.
поверишь.
Конечно. Это из того же разряда, что
Set the
лорд
lift.
какой-нибудь
If I let you
этот...
walk, who knows how long it'll take us. And if anything
Как это
happens,
But of
называется?
course, Nilu will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested.
Как в Overwatch или в этом... В Лиге Легенд.
От тебя эхо идет.
Сильно?
Ну, есть.
Ну, это уже цепляется то, что от тебя идет.
Окей, как бы в наушнике. По идее, ты у меня даже не слышишь.
Нет, как раз таки, этот, как он называется, то, что у тебя с ПК, оно просачивается в Дискорд.
Странно. О, да! О, да!
Что там такое?
Шаурму
Далее.
можно заказать.
М?
Шаурму можно заказать.
А,
Все, и 10 из 10 игра года. Еще и рецепт шаурмы. Все, 12 из 10 на кончике. Больше можно в этом году игры не выпускать. Лучше уже не будет.
будет.
Пока в какой-то игре не предложат двойную шаурму, я пас.
Ну, в Atomic Heart точно двойную шаурму не предложат, но... Ебаться сраться. Вы больные, что ли? Долбоёбы. На кой хер столько навалить было? Всякого говна.
Sorry I'm late, Nilu.
Oh, Dunyarzad. It was taking you so long that I assumed you got trapped at home, but you made it in the end. Uh-oh. But if Dia's here,
Что как-то этот...
God, right? You could say that, but everything worked out. She's on our side now.
Not completely.
Oh, and
Стрим
who are
какой-то
these two?
этот, тихий.
Oh, meet the
Ну,
traveler
а
and
что?
Paimon.
Я просто
my
диалоги
genius
читаю.
friends.
А
They're
так как у
visitors who
меня
just arrived at
микрофон и
Sumera
голос
City, and are
не
leaving
самый
я про
information
то,
приятный.
on
что-
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Этот, никого нету.
So you're followers from
Ну просто
another
Сумеру
land?
уже многие прошли, как бы.
Oh, really? Well, that's okay. You're still invited to the Subzeros. By the way, Dunyarzad, we've already started decorating the Grand Bazaar.
Ну, возможно.
You're very welcome. It's the only thing I could
Как бы
do.
те, кто хотел увидеть, как проходят топовые стримеры, смотрели
We've
вчера.
already finished.
Сегодня проходят более нишевые стримеры.
Wow! This place is amazing!
Not bad. Last time I was here, the stairs were full of holes.
The stairs were nothing. A little while ago, we discovered that the tree above the stage had a huge chunk of bark ready to fall off. We reported it to the academia many times, but they never sent anyone to deal with it. We didn't.
Oh, probably because it was the theater asking.
The academia looks down on performers like us. They probably think it would be best if we can't let that happen, though. Not only would everyone involved in the theater go hungry, but then we wouldn't be thank the Dendra Archon for Dunyarzad. But the more she gave us, we hired someone to patch up the tree. The stage is going to be even prettier when it's festival time.
And I can't wait to see you on the stage. You've been practicing so long already.
It's our dream.
Твою мать, твою мать, твою мать, твою мать.
What are you gonna be doing at the festival?
She'll be dancing the dance of Subzeros, the most important performance.
Dunyarzad, have you told him the origin of this holiday?
I only told them about the Greater Lord and
Ах ты
Lesser Lord so
сука.
far.
Okay. Then I'll tell you two
Нет,
about
этот, как
how
он
this
называется,
holiday
все-таки
came to
резьба
be.
превратилась полноценно в
According
шутер.
to legend, the Subzeros Festival was originally the Goddess of Flowers'
А я тут
birthday
читаю кучу
celebration for the Greater
болтологии.
Lord. A long, long time ago, on one of Greater Lord Rukadevata's birthdays,
Посмотрим,
some of
Ром,
the
если
gods
в
got
течение
drunk.
получаса
One started playing music,
больше не
and the
станет, я
Greater
думаю,
Lord started
тогда
singing
стоит
as
закругляться
she danced
и
upon the grass.
в
Countless
целом тогда
views of
с
those
этой
brilliant
сумеркой.
purple flowers became her dazzling stage. Oh, huh?
Ну,
Really?
как бы с Сумеру, я же говорю,
you
это нишевая
probably mean
вещь.
because all the gods in the although they aren't around anymore, they're preserved in our tradition of dance.
А ну и хрен с ним.
This outfit I'm wearing is though we're just tiny people compared to the divine, we still have to do our best to make
Nilu, you of all people will definitely be able to convey our well wishes to the Dendro Archon.
They symbolize the goddess of flowers, after all. It's just a shame that all the real Padisaras went extinct
Ушли.
after her death.
Кто
Да.
пришел?
Тут есть какие-то падисары.
Yeah. The Greater Lord brought forth Padisaras in memory of the Goddess of Flowers.
Thinking about the goddess of flowers dance makes me wish I could have. If my stage were anything like that. So, Traveler and Paimon, what do you think?
All of Lesser Lord Kusanali's followers will be there for her birthday. It'll be a good...
Ooh, Paimon thinks that's a great idea! Of course Paimon wants to watch. Those
So how about we all attend the Subzeros Festival together?
Dunyarzad, let me show you which stage decorations we've picked out so far. Everyone at the Grand Bazaar loves Lesser Lord Kusanali, and we're... In that case, we'll take a look around. Whoa! What's with your yellow hair? Did you know that the Subzeros Festival is about to happen? There...
Так. А я хочу посмотреть, что тут интересного есть.
Things are really shaping up, and there's a buzz around the festival this year. Don't be fooled into thinking that bad when it comes to music.
Ах ты ж. Блять.
As a child,
Опять
my
тебя жрут?
grandmother said the Subzeros Festival.
А, куда? Ого. Сука, заткнись, ёбань такая.
Revamping this. I don't know much about the Grand Bazaar. Oh, and the perfume sold around. I mean,
Да, блять. Сука, туп.
Nilu, your outfit looks amazing.
I thought I'd add a little.
Wow. Did you?
Sewing is a.
Да ёб твою мать.
Of course.
Дура ебанутая, блять. Искусственный долбоёб.
Так рассчитано, что вы будете играть этот вдвоем.
Catherine.
Просто вместо того, чтобы, блять, сука, мой приоритет скрипта брать, это пизда, блять, воюет с зомбей. У этого искусственного долбоеба должно быть, блять, приоритет на это действие игрока.
I've only ever seen her behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild. This is the first time we've ever seen her taking a break. Hey, Catherine.
Я уже заебался смотреть эту тупую кат-сцену.
Hey, it's the Traveler and Paimon.
Whoa. Break time Catherine sure sounds a lot less formal than usual.
Блять.
Paimon was still waiting for her to say.
Sure. Standing behind the counter at the adventure, but saying and doing the same old things over and over again can get pretty monotonous. Like watching the same Fontaine movie, but take YouTube for example.
Нахрен вас.
You travel across Teyvat to
Well, we enjoy traveling across Teyvat and all that, but we're mainly looking for clues.
Yes, you should keep searching. Sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't necessarily at our intended destination.
Huh. Haven't we heard someone say something pretty similar recently?
No, not particularly. I guess you could say that I'm loving the recent atmosphere here. If Fest... Oh, it looks like it's about time for...
Alright, we'll see you next time at the Adventurers Guild. Oh, by the way, thanks for connecting us with the Eremites.
I'm sure you two will get along well with the people here. You've already been blessed by the element of Dendro after all.
There's something...
hey, traveler.
Oh, hey, Dia. What's
Блять.
going on?
Я же нажал на кнопку
I've
раньше.
got something to tell you. My lady knows you're looking for ways to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Are you serious?
It might not necessarily pan out, so don't get your hopes up too much. My lady is feeling a little worn out at the moment. Nilu's found a
Sounds like a plan. Let's head over to the Citadel of Rexar and wait for Dia.
Sorry, I'm late. It took some convincing for the master and mistress to believe that Miss Dunyarzad was only sitting in the port. Anyway, I guess I should be thanking you. I haven't seen Miss Dunyarzad that happy in a long time. If it wasn't for you two, she'd
You sure sound a whole lot nicer than when we first met, Dia.
It's called being a professional.
Look, Dia's...
Listen, you. I don't expect to be working for Miss Dunyarzad very long, but I hope to finish things on a positive note if possible. Let's cut the chit-chat and head into the Citadel. We'll see if the person I know has a way for you two to meet with the Lesser Lord.
Блять, да поверни. Ну, наконец-то, блять, скрипт сработал. Ой.
Oh, hey, Chief.
Dia, what are you doing here?
Да, надо было сегодня стрим по
I take
этому
it you all
делать.
know.
We met this morning after the Adventurers Guild.
No kidding.
Но, в принципе, как говорится, не поздно все это свернуть, что сейчас идет.
I thought I'd help these two out
Назвать
by asking about the
предыдущий
theft. Anything
летсплеем
you can tell him?
Сумеру.
Ну, пускай этот висит на канале. В принципе, можно свернуть и пойти тогда в Севендейку.
Appreciate it, Chief.
Theft?
Just recently, the
Да
Academia
я вообще
lost
хочу
something.
закончить
And
сюжетку
there's a
эту.
chance the item is...
Я сюжетку эту хочу закончить, в принципе.
Не, ну этот закончу ее. Сейчас в Севендейку побегаем и потом заканчиваем уже в любое время.
You two have heard of Port Ormos, haven't you? It's the largest commercial port in all of Sumeru. The Academia's grip isn't long enough to reach
Тогда
all the way to Port
примерно
Ormos.
закончим.
So the city...
Apparently, what was lost has a great deal to do with the Akasha.
Хочу за 10 минут измениться.
That even if you're interested,
Я
maybe
хочу
you can head
катсцены
to
эти
Port
досмотреть с
Ormos and ask
болтологией.
around yourself.
Are you
Ага.
serious, Chief? All the Academia students are
Чтоб
in
потом
Sumeru
этот-
City.
If you're also interested.
Пусть будут.
Не переслушивать
See what
это.
happens.
Count me out.
Да.
I've got plenty of work to do here for the Homayani. And take it from me, if you two really do decide to visit Port Ormos, you'd best watch your backs. There are even some extremists who go around shouting slogans like, "Retake Sumeru for the Scarlet King." Word is that more and more are joining their movement.
You bet they are. The Scarlet King.
Not everyone's like you, Chief. Even the desert natives who abandoned their homes in the wilderness still wish... Well, traveler, that's about all the...
Thanks, Dia! And you too! Since we've gathered all we could for the moment in Sumeru City...
Miss Dunyarzad is looking forward to seeing you both at the Subzeros Festival. Good. Then we'll see you both...
Как-то в этот раз сюжет разворачивается прям...
Нудно.
Либо очень медленно, либо пиздецки нудно.
Ну, как говорится, не все коту месленница.
Нет, просто в прошлый раз ты только пребывал на Инадзуму, а тебе уже через, допустим, условных... сколько там было? Ну, ладно, час, пусть будет. Тебе уже через час говорили, что ты теперь в составе революции против Архонта, который забирает глаза Бога. То есть тут пока что я вижу, что разработчики очень хорошо проработали локацию, но сюжет очень разворачивается вяло. Я не скажу, что он мне не нравится. Тут куча клише и штампов, которые всегда работали. Однако, вот честно, мне индийская культура, я от нее очень далек.
Да, ну не удивительно.
Да мы все от нее далеки, я даже ни одного индийского сериала за свою жизнь не посмотрел.
А я видел. Ну, я уже говорил, что я в детстве.
Я просто уже как-то из того поколения, которое индийские сериалы ни разу не видела. Просто потому, что у нас был выбор, что смотреть.
Port Ormos is pretty great. There's so many new and interesting things. Sumeru's largest...
Кстати, вот тут как раз сейчас ивент идет.
All thanks to your artistic license.
But when I finished the prototype Aranara yesterday, you agreed that...
Well, I never thought that...
Oh, what should we do?
Whoa. Yeah. Compared to everyone else, they seem really down in the dumps. Let's go find out what's going on. Oh, hey there. Paimon's name is...
Oh, I noticed you two a moment ago. Welcome to Akara Crafts. What's bothering us is this prototype
Prototype Aranara?
Я сейчас вижу кучу
no.
заделов на сюжетные ветки, которые, может быть, будут интересными.
First, Nick.
So, what exactly is a prototype?
So for context,
Но пока что
Aranara are magical creatures. For the store's
Пока
20th
что
anniversary, this is a
скучновато,
prototype we
откровенно.
put it out there.
Экшена и эпика минимум.
They thought it looked like a mushroom too, huh?
No, worse than that, actually. I can't quite describe it, though.
This is not an Aranara.
No.
Huh? I've read Uncle Tanja's Aranara and the ill little fungus.
Uncle Tonder said an Arna. This carving makes me feel lost and confused. Ooh.
Тут ничего не поделаешь.
It doesn't look too happy. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that took a sudden turn for the worse.
Ну,
We asked the children for their opinion.
я вообще еще хочу показать кат-сцену безумия жителей из-за сбоя этих вот имплантов мозговых.
Kids kept mentioning.
Uncle Tanger is a famous he wrote quite a few stories in the past.
О,
Around a year or
привет,
so ago, he
отключившимся.
suddenly had a eureka moment or something, and suddenly the children loved every one of his stories.
Так, до задания, которое ты описываешь, по-моему, я его не видел еще.
Right after he agreed, he went off to Gandharva. We were running out of time, so we had no choice but to carve an Aranara. As you can see.
Ну, вполне возможно, как раз таки это и есть то
Since you're
задание
the
со
famous
сбоем.
traveler, he doesn't have to come in person if he's too busy. Please, if only to put a smile on.
They seem pretty desperate. Yep. Look.
Так. Я пока что на потерянное в изобилии застрял. Нет, все-таки кат-сцен тут значительно больше, чем было в Инадзуме.
Come and have a good look yourself. Traditional spices of the highest quality, made with.
You've got a deal.
Believe me, I'm not
Вот
making
честно,
this up.
я сейчас вижу деньги на экране.
Eremite mercenary groups.
Wow. Talk about hurly-burly. This place is busy. Well, guess that's only. Ooh. We know that whatever the Academia lost is related.
Ну, такое себе, я уже говорил.
Told us to Paimon doesn't
Ну,
get it.
у меня просто есть сравнение.
Suspicious going around saying we're Academia students and ask, well, given all the people that
Welcome. Welcome.
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question.
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumero City that are about to graduate often come to Port Ormos to cut loose a little. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the academia, let alone graduate. But though, sure, we may not be Sumero City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port Ormos. Ah, you see over there? Those are students from the academia. They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha...
Я бы лучше посмотрел бы этот... Я уже говорил, что мне интересно было бы посмотреть, будь оно именно что одиночным сюжетным приключением.
I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different
Они
Eremite
просто
factions.
докрутили в него гачу.
If we choose to move on, especially the group that's constantly
Без
shouting out some
гачи.
stuff about the Scarlet King and some resurrection. I've even heard that
They're called Ain el Akhmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after...
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods... I've heard that Ain el Akhmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 more...
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for?
Позвонить в 5 колоколов.
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche.
Ладно, 2 у Леона, еще где 3 взять.
Shady knowledge.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Проблема в том,
What's left
что...
for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all...
Сам понимаешь, при зомби-апокалипсисе, чтобы еще что-то громыхало.
Дебилизм.
Wait, didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information? Oh, alright.
Хотя вот я смотрю в 6-й части старые придурочные загадки оригинала вернулись.
Ну, 6-я часть, она вообще какая-то странная, если честно. Она вроде как одновременно про все и не про что.
Oh, you've arrived. Please take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe
Ну
to
тут
toe
точно
with
нет
the
хоррора,
boss.
по крайней мере, среди того, что
Once we
я
reclaim the
вижу.
power of the Scarlet King, they'll be the first.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a...
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick Mora?
Yeah, with boss's fervent
По банальной
devotion.
такой причине, что слишком много здесь стрельбы.
All these guys talk about is the
Greater Lord Ruka
О, да,
Devata.
открыли, блядь,
That
дверь.
traitor and her followers must not be spared.
Молодцы.
The day will come when the Scarlet King exacts vengeance on Sumeru.
Ой, блин, я смотрю на сюжет и вижу сюжетку этого. Стандартную сюжетку из ТСО, вот.
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too.
Жило-было королевство, было всем офигенно, а потом какие-то культисты решили призвать адского сатану.
Who are you? What do you want? A student? What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos? Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it? Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Hmm? Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, that's right. We heard you mention the Scarlet King just now.
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, as you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of the Scarlet King. Years ago, the Scarlet King founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization. The Scarlet King was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted.
So, you mean...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed the Scarlet King's civilization, and our ancestors. Furthermore, she conspired with the Academia to cover up the truth of her actions and create the merciful. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no. Mark my words. Our god shall return. And when that day comes, if what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of the Scarlet King. I don't have anything to say to you Academia people about that. I think this conversation has
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
You again? Deranged Academia.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things, listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a once you show up. They keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item.
Hey! Shut it, Al-Haytham! What are you playing at,
I told you the other day.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then.
I'm warning you. Don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, if, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that by then, some things will have happened that cannot be undone. Also, a word of advice.
Сколько у тебя там хп?
I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise,
what did you
consider this? Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 more to them.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around. He would know it!
Вот мы и нашли этих местных НКВДшников.
О, ну наконец-то, блять.
What do you want? No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two know I advise you to keep your distance from them. Since they weren't able to make off with...
Противнику наваливают столько хп, что за ним приходится заебываться и бегать.
Who exactly are you two?
Заливая его всем дамагом, что есть.
Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with...
Это было бы нормально в обычном шутере, а они, блин...
He doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not, but he can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way.
Ну правильно, надо же заставить игрока слить весь боеприпас.
All right, I accept. Got a pen and paper? We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you...
So, since you were happy to give us...
You were willing to part with 500,000 Mora for Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of... Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far.
We know it's connected to the academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites...
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information. This is what you've been looking for.
Huh? Paimon can't tell what it is.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents. Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information.
That's amazing.
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumera to privately possess. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless academia. Well, I think that about sums it up. Oh, so that's your true... With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer. You're still resolved. Fine.
Ой. Я смотрю, мы сейчас, походу, будем заниматься нелегальной торговлей дисками. Так. Нет, все-таки это контент ни хрена не для стримов. Ладно, я предлагаю тогда, наверное, закругляться. Потому что куча болтологии, куча фарма, ну, это скучновато. Я могу сделать вывод, потому что я вижу сейчас. И все.
Ну, походу, они немножко передушнили.
Ну, потому что я уже, честно, я слушаю эти диалоги раз, два, три, четыре, пять, куча информации, да, сюжетная, да, важная. Я понимаю, что это огромный университет, тут везде знания, везде душнило, но, блин. Я сижу сейчас как на лекции по программированию и думаю, когда эта хуйня уже закончится.
Ну да.
Ай, поэтому, скорее всего... Да, локация красивая. Но проходить ее желательно, особенно сюжетно, так какими-то заходами по часу в день. Чтобы не удушиться начать. Ай.
Заканчивается не на 0, начинается не на 2. Начинание 102.
Я просто смотрю, я уже, ну, большую часть локаций закрыл больше 50%. И мне откровенно скучно. Так что, скажем так, Сумеру получилось менее насыщенной и концентрированной, чем Инадзума. Катсцен может тут и больше, но то, что постоянно персонажи откровенно пиздят ни о чем, меня это уже бесит. Так. Как правильно там завершать? В принципе, какой-то вывод. Может быть, после прохождения я скажу, что это было неплохо. Но начало передушит. Так, остановить трансляцию.
Сейчас я здесь завершу. Ладненько. Вы, как обычно, были на канале Мультипаукис, и, как всегда, с вами был Валтер. До скорых встреч. Так, все, я завершу.